Hello, welcome to the next edition of the Wednesday special. Today we're going to be trying out Simic Deserts for Pioneer. So this deck is built around Colossal Battleworm, the Outcaster Greenblade from the new set. Plus we have Glasspool Mimic to help copy our Rattleworm or our Greenblades. And this deck did get a 5-0, so what we're trying out. See if this deck actually has a lot, actual pieces to be legit in Pioneer. It is interesting that we are a Fae of Wishes deck, so that's going to be quite interesting. If you like this series, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you're for future videos. We're on our way to 2,000 subs. Let's get there together. Let's get into this deck list and see the deck in action. So the deck list, we have 4 and 4 on the new cards, Greenblade and Rattleworm. 4 Lookouts, 2 Bristly Bills, because it does work quite well with Lookout. 4 Fae Wishes to find our bunch of one-of tutor targets in the sideboard. With a couple of Mystical Disputes extra, pretty nice. Couple 3 steps ahead for a little bit of counter magic with our Spell Pierces. Feeding Hope to balance our opponent's creature. 4 Blue Sun's Twilight to take our opponent's creature. And then we have Pick Your Poison for, of course, the bloody vampire matchup. Sideboard, we do have a Scavenger Grounds we could bring in. If we expect, we need Graveyard Hate, pretty nice. We could do that with Greenblade, so it's pretty sweet. Tormod's Crypt, a free Graveyard Hate piece to be tutored with Fae Wishes. Cage to stop Coco. We have Pick Your Poison, like I said, against the vampire matchup. Pithy Needle for vampires, also for Sorin. Soulguide Lantern for a little bit of Graveyard Hate we could actually sideboard in. Witness Protection, a little bit of removal that we could tutor up. And we have a change the equation for the green and red matchups. Damping Sphere for combo like Lotus Field. Negate and Mystical Disputes, also pretty good against combo and control. We have a Jace Protected Mine as a decent win con to help mill our opponent out. Treasure Cruise, we can grab that, draw 3 cards, turn through attack. Trespass, we can take an extra turn. We can tutor that, like I said, with Fae Wishes. And then get a couple attacks within a Rattleworm. That is our Simic Deserts deck, Stompy deck for Pioneer. Let's see if this deck has what it takes. Let's get into it. Breeding Pool, tap, say go. Blood Crypt. Passes. Play Lair, say go. Gorge. So Jund. Naturalist. Play Rivulet. Greenblade. Like Oasis, say go. And that should give us a free crime next turn with these lookouts. Plays up a Seiju, attacks me. And we'll block. A Coco. But is there anything you can get that gives us a +1/+1? Alright, Naturalist down. Play the Lookout. Oasis. Get a Pylons. Fae to the yard. Shove, say go. Tolvar. Shoves in there. Take it. Play the second Lookout. Play the Lair. Go to combat. Shove with a Lookout. Takes it. Pass the turn. So that flips. Forest. Goes to combat. Passes. Naturalist. And a Pack Leader. Pop the Blood Crypt. Get a Rivulet. And a Pylons. Feeding Hope, I guess, to the top. So that flips back. Play a Breeding Pool untapped. Let's take a Pack Leader. Got it. Run it back. Blood Crypt tapped. Passes. Botanical Sanctum, say go. Stomping Grounds. Plays a Naturalist, say go. Passes. Play a Pylons. Besiege you to the yard, say go. Plains. Tolvar. Hits me for 4. 3. Play another Pylons. We'll draw the Greenblade. Play Lookout, say go. Plays a Brute. Arcathar. Shoves in there. Offer the trade. Play the forest first. Then Green Blade. Get an Oasis. Pass the turn. Give up a Spell Pierce. Alright, Spell Pierce. Shoves in there. Take it. We're at 8. Play Archway. Pick up the forest. Pass the turn. Tries to go for it again. We Spell Pierce. Passes. Plays a Besaju. And a Ringleader. Recruiter. So that flips. So he's trying to remove my threat. So we let that happen. Our best case scenario here is we allow him to attack into our Otawara. So we'll play a Breeding Pool tapped and pass. So he attacks. We have to bounce the Otawara. We have to bounce the Brew, pay 3 life. Another Moonlight Hunt. Okay, we lose. So pick your poisons bad. Bring in Witness. Cage. Change the equation. That seems pretty good. Down some Spell Pierces. Run it like that. Play a Lair, say Goo. Grounds. Messenger. Passes. Oh, it has haste. Smacks me. So we need lands. We're going to play a Fae. Sego. Gorge. Naturalist. He probably does not attack into my Fae. Passes. Spell Pierce is not what I'm looking for. Just pass the turn. He adds more mana. We block. And a Pack Leader. Alright, so that means we Fading Hope. Pack Leader. Just trying to find lands. Bottom. Blood Grip, tap, and passes. We drew the land, that's good. So that means we get to play our Green Blade. Get an Oasis. And pass the turn. Attack Gorge. Passes. Pack Leader. Play Lookout. Oasis. Go digging. Get a Breeding Pool tapped. And pass the turn. Plays at Stomping Grounds and passes. So his stuff flips. Bristly Bill. Play Brusty Bill. Archway. Grow the Fae. Maybe I had to tap the Rivulet. I guess we bounce Rivulet. Bottom the Rattle. The reason why I say that is because I probably do actively want to return to Desert, but I want to leave up 3 steps ahead. So we shove for 2 in the air and say go. See if you have any instep Cocos. Nope. Goes to combat. Shoves in there. Now what he does not realize here is we do have the legit option of getting an Oasis right here by exiling his Rattles, Coco, Tolvar, and the Glutton. So we take an Oasis, pump the Lookout, grab, I guess, a Lair, pump Bristly. So this eats there. This eats there. Take the rest. Since they have Menace. So we go to 10. Plays a Mountain. So we get to play a Desert. Pump the Bristly. Go to combat. Shove in there with a Fae. Next turn we should be able to go for lethal. Playing double Rattle Worm should be more than enough damage. Naturalist, okay. Naturalist. Naturalist. Shoves in there. So we get... They exile 2, so they get to drain. Play Rattle Worm number 1. Rattleworm number 2. So like that and like this. I guess I can't do it that way, right? I have to actually block one of these over here. So I block, no, like that. All right, block like that, I suppose. So we should lose our lookout, 1 worm and a bristle. We're at 3. We don't have enough mana to get back a desert. We untap. How do we win from this position? So we do this, so we get another pylons, I guess, maybe? Blue Sun's Twilight, Yard. So I could look at my sideboard. Is there anything in there? If I pay 2 mana, plus the 4, that's 6 mana. 6. We have 1 mana left over. So we can't really do anything other than Treasure Cruise. Am I dead? That is the question. I can make copies. 2 copies of Rattleworm. So I think I have to prevent the flip. Get a land. Play a Pylons. I guess keep Blue Sun's Twilight. Pass the turn. I have to play a spell. Prevent them from flipping. Because that has Menace. Recruiter. That happens. Okay. I'm not worried about a recruiter. Man, nothing but recruiters. Got it. Question, do you attack here? No. So we'll make another copy of Outcast. Or the Outcaster. We will grab a Pylons. We play that said Pylons. Mimic. To the yard. This does not say it's sorcery speed. So we'll pass. 8. We have 8 blocker, 8 attackers. And then we have up to 7 blockers. Then again, he might be able to kill me by purely attack triggers. We do have 2 layers to block. So I think that means we lose because of this. And also because of Glutton. So we're at 1. So turn that on for 5. And turn that one on. Sadly, this intruder wins. But I can take like a lot of his actual threats out. Which is kind of funny, but... And we lose. Let's get into the next. 0-1. Triumph and passes. Play Pylons. Graveyard, say go. Plays a Reef and passes. Botanical Sanctum, say go. Triumph tap, passes. Alright, so we untap. Play a Forest, say go. Mountain. This has to be Jeskai's Ascendancy. Jeskai's Creativity. Passes after playing a Tome. Try to play Lookout. Looks like a No More Lies. Yeah. Play the Oasis, say go. Scries. Plays another tune, or taps the Tome. Scry. Plains, okay. And a Sad Robot. That makes no sense. This can't be Creativity. Why would Creativity play a Sad Robot? So we play Oasis. And pass the turn. Goes to combat. Hits me with a Sad Robot. Take it. Want Knots here. Attempt to cast a Rattleworm. Eats my Mimic. and a clock. So bounce the Thought-Knot Seer. Draw a card. Play the Boseiju. Play Rattles. Go to combat. Hit ya. Say go. So he's going to scry. Gain 4. Ugin. That's a very interesting choice. And a Thought-Knot Seer. So that comes down. Bounce Thought-Knot Seer. Kills a worm. And passes. So play the Rivulet. Go to combat. Hit the Ugin. Say go. Now he might block this to draw a card. And he does. Field. That would be kind of interesting to play Ugin in a creativity deck. Technically works. Thought-Knot Seer. So we'll go ahead and exile our Rattles. Get a Pylons. That way we could scry. No more lands. Play the Forest. Just attack. Say go. Puts another counter on the clock. Academy. So they gain lifelink. Hits me for 4. So now we're tied. Oasis. Shove for 6. Pass the turn. Puts more counters on the clock. Plays a Fortress. Crawler. And attacks me? No, just passes. Bounce Thought-Knot Seer. So now his Thought-Knot Seer goes away. Possibly. Play Archway. Bounce a Pylons. I guess a top. Go to combat. Attempt to attack you. Cycles a Triome. That happens. Blocks 1 point of damage. Takes 5. Fields my Pylons. Sacrifice the Pylons. Mill you 4. Another Academy. Thought-Knot Seer. Okay. There goes my Spell Pierce. Another Thought-Knot Seer. So we play Pylons. That's fine. So granted. I guess Treasure Cruise? Cast a Treasure Cruise? I mean, he definitely could have an answer here. Oh, wait, never mind. I can't. Shove in there. So now he's forced a double block. Play a Green Blade. This has to eat a counter, doesn't it? No more lies. Cast a Fae. Say go. Castle. Thought-Knot Seer. Takes a Twilight. So it gives them lifelink. Shoves. Trade. So now we get to draw a card. I could cancel and play Outlook first, but if he has any kind of counterspell, pass the turn. Got it. Pick your poison seems kind of medium. I guess we'd rather have a Witness Protection. Maybe a negate over a Spell Pierce. And run it like that. Plays a Plains and passes. Play a Hull, say go. Plays an Island and passes? No, Tome. That's perfect. Spell Pierce that. Play a Lair, say go. Reef. Ashiok. Eats my yard. So that sucks. That means this thing honestly can't be very big. Say go. Academy. Thought-Knot Seer. Probably takes a rattle. Eats up my yard more. Or my library. Passes. Pass. Clock. Surprised he tapped the Plains. Mills me more. Passes. Why can't I cast this? This should not stop me from casting it. Identical names. Play rattles. Say go. Oh, I didn't have a desert. That's why. Okay. That makes sense. Puts a counter. Ugin. Snipes. Eats up my yard more. Passes. Take the thought knots here. Eat Ugin. Say go. Need one more land to get this haul online, which really basically puts this game away. Glacial Fortress, that's fine. Can you answer my thought knots here? Ashiox changes it, passes. That's not bad. So now we get to go ahead and tutor out the land we need. Pylons. Play that said pylons. Keep rattles. Go to combat. Shove. Pass the turn. Another Ugin. I'm gonna snipe one of my creatures. Nope, makes it 2-2. Got it. 1-1. Let's get into the next. Pylons. Bend Twilight Segu. Darkslick Shores. Boy, Hydra Sego. Darksteel Citadel. Patchy. Okay. Passes. Play a Lookout, say go. Play a Shores. Tithing Blade. That's a little bit of a nuisance. Smacks me, take it. Especially that's an artifact. And he's going to be happy to sack that to pick your poison. Lookout. Tap land, say go. Plays a river. Tezzeret. That's kind of based. And draws 2. Gets rid of a Spell Pierce. I mean, that definitely is kind of bad in this matchup. Passes. Oh. That's okay, I guess. So I think I have to Fading Hope the Automaton. Patchy. I have to pay. And I think my goal here is definitely to take out this Tezzeret as much as I can. Take Oasis. No more face, please. Smack Tezzeret. Say go. Replays the Patchy. Goes looting again. She could find a Tithing Blade. Nope, just kills my threat outright. Passes. Play Granted. So I have 5 cards. Plus 2. I can't get Treasure Cruise and cast it. Pithing Needle, I guess, is fine. Tezzeret, Betrayer of Flesh. Play a land, say go. Cast the Fae. Then say go. Silver Raven. Fatal Push. Smacks. Take it. That means he really can't answer my haul this attack. He can chump it though, which is kind of annoying, but turn on the haul. Shove at you. Attempt to take half your life total. Chumps. There you go. Hits me for 2. Take it. Oasis. Attempt to turn on a lair. I'm assuming he has removal. And I'd rather a lair die than a haul. The Fatal Push inbound. Attack you. Alright, Fatal Pushes. Gets me back for 2. Now we're tied at 12. Attempt to turn on the lair. On Aurora. Okay, say go. Raven. Hits me. Sure. Down to 9. Turn on the hall. Let's shove at you. Chumps. Pass the turn. Murex. Thoughtseize. That kind of hurts. Still shoves at me. Pretty daring. Take it. Down to 6. Play Green Blade. Take Rivulet. Play that Rivulet. Turn on the Lair. Attempt to shove you for 5. Say go. Looks like he's using Murex. Smuggler's Copter. That means he has 2 blockers now. You can't really attack. And passes. Turn on a Lair. Go to combat. Cruise. Shove both at face. I'm assuming both are going to be blocking this turn. Yeah. So unless somehow magically you can put a counter on the automaton, I'm not really worried. Pass. And soul. Attempt to use a cancel. Okay, can't pay. That means I lose. Yeah. That was pretty good game. Another pick your poison. Maybe witness. And a negate. Down 2 spell pierces. And maybe 3 steps ahead as well. Maybe keep in that additional spell pierce. I don't like that. Greening pool taps. They go. Underground river passes. Hall. Say go. Plays a watery grave. Patchy. We untap. That's not what I'm looking for. Play Fae. Say go. I really need a land. Fatal pushes. And a courier. Hits me with Patchy. Patchy's not a terrible, inclusion, I guess, for a soul deck that has a lot of artifacts. Again, no thing. So I need to lead off with a Fading Hope to bounce a courier. Try to find a land and then pick your poison away the Patchy. That is not a land. So we go ahead and cast that. Make him sack his Patchy, say go. Stonebrain. Interesting choice. I guess we can't play Magic today. Fae, say go. Fatal push. I was expecting a Thoughtseize before the Stonebrain comes in. What are you hitting me with the Stonebrain? I am actively curious. Lair of the Hydra. I mean, that definitely makes it where I have more land issues. Yeah. Okay. Play Brusty Bill, say go. Citadel. Tithing Blade. Courier. Passes. Pass the turn, I guess. Plays a Pathway. I just need to avoid a Ensoul. Take her beats. Sacks a courier. And Soul. So that means I need to bounce the Citadel. Negate is not a land. Bottom it. That is a land. Hallelujah. Keep the land. Play Green Blade. Grabbing an Oasis. That way we have a crime option for next turn. Say go. Citadel. Raven. Passes. Play Lookout. Oasis. Looks like a Bitter Triumph. Coming in at the Lookout. Take the Sanctum. Hit you for 3, say go. Copter. That's a good card. Gonna kill my dude? Sure. So he's at 6. We're gonna be at 14? No. I guess he's worried about me turning on a hall, but I'm pretty far away from turning on a hall at this point. Play a Green Blade. Take an Oasis. So he's out of cards. So I think I might have to take this risk and just play a Lookout. That way next turn I could easily Twilight if I want to. Cruise. Pitches a Citadel. Now the question here is, do I attempt to trade? The answer is no. So he has to get back a 1-drop here. Somehow he's doing all this at instant speed. Yeah, I'm taking it. He could play a Raven, but I think I have to take the risk here. The upside is winning the game, so take your Dork. Take a Sanctum. Got it. We would have run it back. Has a Watery Grave. Shocks himself. For a Courier. Okay. Play a Botanical Sanctum, say go. Shores. And Soul. That makes sense. Bounce it. Land to the bottom. Play the Lair, say go. Courier. Passes. Oh, he doesn't Soul it. Bounce it again. No more Fading Hopes, please. So we drop down our Desert. Play Green Blade. Get a Pylon, say go. Mirax. Passes. Another Pylons. No more lands. Go to combat. Shove. Citadel. Courier. Attempt to cast a Rattle Worms. Okay, Rebuke. Play another Pylons. Spell Pierce to the yard. Go to combat. Shove for 4, say go. Chumps. River. Snipes my guy. Take it. Unearths. Goes to combat. Shoves in there. Casts a Rattle Worm. Another Rebuke. Counter it. So now we got him a 2-turn clock. We block. Gave me the GGs. Like we're about to go 2-1 with the deck. There's definitely some things I would recommend maybe changing. Things I didn't like about the list, at least. But other than that, like, it felt pretty decent. Like, we're able to get to this Rattle Worm consistently. Green Blade did pretty good overall for a 3-drop. So, got there. 2-1. Let's get into the next. So, what did we learn this week about this deck overall? Like, my biggest takeaway is the inability for this deck to actually get a fast enough play patterns to be able to actually get the 6-5 down early enough to where it matters more. Same with the actual Green Blade. We're clunky at the 3-drop slot, and we have nothing going on the first few turns, it seems like. That is my biggest pet peeve with this deck. If we somehow find something to do on turn 1, turn 2, maybe this deck is better. I don't necessarily know if this deck wants Llanowar Elves, but that is definitely a possibility. But that is my biggest takeaway of this deck. We have our core pieces of this deck are all 3-drops or higher. Lookout, Green Blade, the Rattle Worm, and they really kind of just are slow. Now this deck might be better in Standard, where most of these pieces are there. The only thing that you get in this format is Fae of Wishes, which may not be a relevant Glasspool Mimic. And then we have some lands are old, like Rivulet. So, but not a lot of them either. So maybe this deck is better as a Standard deck than it is a Pioneer deck. But let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about this list. What can we do to make the first few turns less weird and actually make us do something so that we were better fit to win the matchups? But until next time, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.